I'm Peter from Physical Therapy Ireland, and today we're both going to help you understand rounded shoulders and then discuss the negative effects it has on the body. Now, when you have rounded shoulders, regardless of how noticeable it is or not, you're always going to have those subtle, gradual movements occurring at the same time. So I'm going to break these movements into three parts just to help you better understand what's going on. So let's start off here with the upper arms. So when you have the roundness in the shoulders, okay, we're going to have the upper arms here subtly moving inwards like that, generally because of all the tightness here in the chest, maybe the lats here in the front of the shoulder. Now when this turns inwards, you're going to get that extra tightness up in the upper traps here, but not only that, you're going to get an imbalance and restriction here in the shoulder joint because the joint isn't in its natural well-aligned position. And this is generally the reason then why we get that kind of pinching sensation or restriction in the shoulder whenever we move our shoulders above shoulder height like that. Now the second movement is coming from the mid-back, because when you have rounded shoulders, the mid-back gradually curves like so, generally again because of all the tightness here in the chest and the shoulders. And that's going to stretch and tighten and weaken all the muscles in the mid-back and the back of the neck as well, putting them under so much pressure as they're trying to stop that forward motion there of the shoulder and the neck. Now in conjunction with that, what you might always find as well, that the shoulder blades here on both sides might start to wing out away from the body, and that's really emphasizing the weakness that exists there in the mid-back. And it's also going to accentuate then the forward movement then of the shoulder again. Now on top of all that, you're also going to get the ribs, which attach here from the mid-spine, wrap all the way around to the chest. They can actually twist and become quite restricted as the curvature in the spine increases. Now the third movement is going to come from the neck, and because the neck is situated right on top of the shoulders, if the shoulders are rounded forward like that, then the neck has no choice whatsoever except to go in a forward position like that. That means all the muscles on the neck here are going to be very, very tight. The curvature here in the neck is going to be increased as well, and that's going to make everything quite congested and restrict the range of movement in the neck. Right, so what causes roundness in the shoulders? Well, sitting down for prolonged periods at a time, slouched over at a desk, particularly if you're a student or if you have a desk-based job. Then if you do a lot of long distance driving, do that quite regularly, that slouched position in the car then could also lead to roundness in the shoulders. If you're quite active and do a lot of lifting, carrying, pulling activities, then you're working the chest and shoulders a lot more than the muscles in the mid-back, and that can trigger that imbalance between the front of the chest and the mid-back, leading of course to the roundness in the shoulders. Then you have other instances then, like being overweight, having a sedentary lifestyle, having an increased curvature in the lower back can increase the curve in the mid-back, leading of course to rounded shoulders. Then as well, if you're training in the gym and you're doing giving more attention say to the chest and the shoulders and no attention to the mid-back, then of course that can trigger that roundness in the shoulders as well. Right, so now I'm going to give you 5 conditions that are usually associated with rounded shoulders. So just to start off, we're going to have an impingement in the spine. So when you have that forward posture like that and the neck is jutting out, that increased curvature there in the neck is going to reduce the amount of space between the vertebrae and may irritate and pinch on the nerve that's coming out from the neck. Similarly then as well, you had the fleshy part of the muscle here in the neck, you can have an impingement there as well, because when you have the roundness in the shoulders, the space here in the neck is reduced, and along with the tightness of the muscle, that can compress and irritate the nerves exiting the spine. And then as well, you can have nerve impingement right here in the chest, because the shoulders again are rounded in. That tightness there in the chest muscle, particularly the small chest muscle called the pec minor, can compress and irritate that nerve. Now all those 3 points here cause familiar symptoms such as neck pain, shoulder pain, but most importantly then as well, you get that tingling and numbness and weakness sensation all the way down the arm and even into the hand and fingers. Now when it comes to joints, you might get that rib dysfunction as well, because when you get that roundness in the shoulders, those ribs are also twisting as well, and if they get locked on their way, they can cause a great deal of discomfort then in the mid-back, all along the length of the ribs, even to the chest as well, and that becomes quite noticeable then as well when you're taking big breaths in and out. And you might also get a locking say in the neck, a locking here in the mid-back. What happens is if the vertebrae are locked in position and they're unable to move, that can cause a great deal of pain then as well when you turn the neck or move the mid-back, you get that sharping, piercing pain. Now if you put all the nerves and say the joints to one side, let's not forget about the muscles, because they can cause a great deal of discomfort, particularly if they have trigger points. And those trigger points are these areas of tightness in the muscle that just can't relax, and they can refer pain around the general area as well, mimicking other conditions. If you're looking to get to the root cause of your rounded shoulders, then I would recommend going to your physical therapist first, just to see if there are any pelvic or spinal alignment issues that need to be addressed initially. If it is the case that your pelvis and lower back are all good, then in this case you just need to stretch out the chest, maybe the lats as well if they're tight, and the upper traps. That then in addition to strengthening the muscles in the mid-back by doing your mid-back rows, strengthening the external rotators then of the shoulder as well. In conjunction with that then you can apply self-massage to the chest, to the lats and the upper traps to help break down all that soft tissue and to increase the range of movement within that general area. So thanks for watching, I hope you found it useful. Do check out our next video, which is going to go through all the exercises in more detail for correcting rounded shoulders.